All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. And overnight, we saw Bitcoin continue to drop. It broke our 89K lows and came down to $86,000. 86, yeah, about 86,000, 86,100, 200. But where did we bounce and why did we bounce? Well, we bounced from our 382, and it was our 382. If we go ahead, I'm just going to delete this now. Let's go on our weekly chart here. Where is that? Here we go. And we can do our Fibonacci pull from our last huge weekly lows down here at 49K. If we go down to 48,900, 49K, and we pull it up to our all-time high, you can see where do we bounce? We bounce about the 382. Now, we are still in a bull run. We are seeing the bull run see some weakness here, possibly, but this has been a bull run for a couple years now, a very strong uptrend. And the 382 often acts as support or resistance in an uptrend. Now, about 10 days ago, I made more of a macro video warning that the top could be near, but I also said I don't think the top is quite in yet. I did say there is a possibility we could dump all the way down to 72 to 70K, where that golden pocket is and our prior highs, and still come up higher after that dump. Now, we're seeing the dump. We're starting to lose our daily range since November 11th. We've been trading kind of in this range up here, and we are starting to lose that range to the downside, which is a sign of weakness. Now, remember, we have weekly bear divs on the chart. We have monthly bear divs on the chart. And Bitcoin, if it starts to close daily candles below 93K, now 93K is that big daily or that range value area low. So if we look at this range up here just since November 11th, and we go ahead and do a range pull of this range here, our value area low is around 93K, 92,500 on Bybit. On Coinbase, it's about 93,000. And we're starting to see dumps below our value area low, and not just small dumps, wicks like we were seeing the rest of the time, but significant price action to the downside. So now we are seeing a bit of concern. Is this about to drop farther? What we can look at here, we are seeing a small bounce from the 382, but is the dump over with? That's the question everyone wants to know. Well, we can look at this. Since our 49K lows, we kind of had this last big impulse up here. And is this impulse done? Because let me zoom back out to the weekly time frame. And we've been looking at this very clear 5-wave impulse to the upside. There's two types of structures in Elliott waves. There's impulsive structures and corrective structures. And an impulsive structure is a 5-wave structure to the upside. Now, it can be more complicated with a double 1-2. It's 2 1-2s, your 3, and then 2 4-5s. But for the most part, it's a 5-wave structure. The double 1-2, triple 1-2 is just a more complicated 5-wave structure. And is this the end of our 5-wave structure? And are we about to see a bigger dump to the downside? In that macro video I made a few days ago, 10 days ago, I talked about, yes, it could be the end, but in our wave 5 here, we should see a 5-wave impulse to the upside. So let's go ahead and look. Let's go into our daily time frame, and we can look at this daily time frame. And one of the reasons why we're saying that maybe it's not over yet is because we've had this. It was like a double 1-2 here. So like 1-2, 1-2, our third wave here. This was our first 4 down to 89K, and then a 5 here. So are we in our second 4? And then we see one more 5 to the upside to complete this double 1-2, and then see the actual bear market kick in, or a bigger ABC correction kick in. That is still a possibility, and we could bounce from this 382 here. 382 often acts as support or resistance in a strong trend. This has been a strong trend on the daily time frame. Now we are starting to see weakness and ranging here, a little bit of weakness in this range now. So the question is it over? Is the party over? And to answer you guys honestly, I don't know. I don't know if it is. All we can do is map out the levels and watch where Bitcoin goes and be ready for each scenario. We can be ready if the bullish scenario kicks in and we see the bounce. We can be ready if the bearish scenario continues to play out and we dump farther. So one of the key things I want to show you guys here is you can see this anchored VWAP here on my chart. This is one of the only things on this chart right now. And this anchored VWAP is from that 49K low. This was the end of our wave 4 correction on our weekly time frame. This 7-month range that we were in here, that was our low of our week 4 correction, and then we exploded up in our weekly wave 5 impulse. So this is an important area to look for the anchored VWAP from, to place an anchored VWAP and to look here. Now you can see this anchored VWAP is coming in a little bit lower than we are now. It's about 83.7, 83.5-ish, about in that area, about 83K, 83.5K. All right, so let's go ahead and now look at our Fibonacci pulls. And what we can do is we can look at our Fibonacci pull from the last daily low before this massive impulse here. This was a very strong impulse here. And so let's go ahead and do our Fibonacci pull from this low here to our new all-time high. If I can get it, there we go. And look at where this golden pocket is coming in, right at that anchored VWAP area. So 83K, 83.2, 83.5 here. This is looking like it could be a support if we do drop a little bit lower. Now, I still do like that 85K level as well. 85K was the last liquidity of this range, and I know this looks insignificant from where we're sitting right now, but after you see a massive impulse like this and you see one red candle and then a continuation here, the lows of this candle, that liquidity is important to keep in mind, because oftentimes market makers will stop out all the liquidity of this entire range and then make the move, then continue the move to the upside. So we do have that 85K liquidity here that hasn't been hit. Also, if we go to our other chart here, you can see that that 85K liquidity is right into our pitchfork midline. We have not come down and hit the pitchfork midline yet. We have front run that pitchfork midline and we have front run that liquidity grab. So this area here is, and really goes down to 83.5. So between 85 and 83.5, 83.2 is the area we could be watching. This is kind of the last hope for Bitcoin. If Bitcoin doesn't bounce in this area here, then most likely we are going to come down to 75K, if not 72K, 72 to 70, which is our more macro golden pocket. And we can go back to that. Let's look at this golden pocket. So the same Fibonacci pull here, if we look at this same Fibonacci pull and we go from our 49K lows here up to our new all-time high, you can see our, let me make sure I got that on there. There we go. You can see that 72,194 to 72.50-ish is where our macro golden pocket of our wave 5, our weekly wave 5 impulse is here. Let me clean this up so you guys can see that a little bit better. So we have this golden pocket here, but also if you think in terms of just market structure and we go zoom out, let's zoom out back onto the weekly chart. We do have our prior highs from the prior cycle are in this general area, as well as our highs from September are in this general area. This is an important area. Also, this 7-month range, this week wave 4 correction that we saw on the weekly impulse, if we do a fixed range volume profile of this pull, you can see our value area high is coming in right around that, right on that golden pocket. So that 72 to 70K area is a major support area that if Bitcoin starts collapsing, this would be a major support for Bitcoin to hold. Now, if Bitcoin starts losing 70K, it's in significant trouble. The bear market might be here. And here's the thing, guys. Everyone says the bull market's still going, and then by the time we realize it's a bear market, it's too late. Most people get in way after. Most people finally come to the realization that the bull market's over way too late. And we don't want to be that person. We want to pay attention to high time frame bearish signals that are showing on the charts. And it doesn't mean it's over, but it means we need to start thinking towards the end of the bull market. Okay, if we get another significant high up here, is that going to be the end? Are we going to start taking profits if we get one more significant high? Because that could be the end. And then we start at least DCAing our profits that we've been building through this entire bull market. And then you just, you let it ride. You know, you can always keep some moon bags with your coins on, you know, never sell a certain amount unless, you know, if you have a real high time frame look at the markets and you want to be in crypto for decades, I think that you should never sell all of it, but we do want to play market cycles to maximize profits. So we are in this question right now with what's been happening in the last couple days. Is the party over? Is it going to be, are we going to be starting a bear market soon? With our high time frame signals that are showing on the charts, it does give us some flashing warning signals. It doesn't confirm it, but it gives us some warning signals that we need to start thinking this way. Now, I know fundamentally there's a lot of bullish news for crypto. We have a reserve coming up for the United States. Supposedly, the adoption is higher than ever. Companies are buying, countries are buying. Yes, it looks good, but I follow technicals more than anything. And then we look at fundamentals second. So technicals are showing us that the warning signals are here. We need to just be more cautious with our trades, with our long-term trades in the market. All right, so now let's go ahead and zoom in on Bitcoin and let's look at today's price action and see what's happening here with today. So let's go to the Coinbase chart here and let's go ahead and go on the 1 hour chart. Today, we did see that bounce from the 382, and since then we've kind of, most of today I've been watching this sort of channel that we've been trading in here. We've kind of been just trading at the bottom in this slight descending channel here. Now, we did break that channel to the upside, you can see, but we didn't break it significantly. We back tested it here. We saw a small bounce, and now we're coming down to back test it again. What I do not like about this push up from the lows, you can see this push up here from the lows. If we go ahead and come in here and we turn on our volume, it just looks weak to me. It looks like it's a low volume push to the upside. I mean, we are seeing some volume come in, but we do have a lot of red spikes here. There is some green here at the very bottom of our candles here at our lows. And then you can see there's some spikes up through here where we had that nice green spike into the top of the channel. And then we had some pretty heavy red spikes on that rejection of the top of the channel. So what can we look for? If we want to say the low is in, well, okay, then you can look for a pullback to get in on a long. And you just manage your risk on this, you know, so you can do a Fibonacci pull from the low to the high, your current low to your high on low time frames, and you can be looking in this general area of the golden pocket 786 to get into a long. If you get into that long, say at the 786 here, you need to put your stop below these lows here, just in case it isn't the bottom. Then you'll get stopped out. You obviously calculate your risk based off of your stop loss here. So we have about a 1% stop loss here. So you could 1x leverage your entire account and get stopped out and only lose 1% of your account here. That, and if you want to look at this as a swing long, then, you know, you wouldn't take profits until much higher. But we do have significant resistances now above us that Bitcoin needs to tackle to get back above. And I talked about these a little bit in my third video that I posted last night. And let's go ahead and go into that real quick here. So let me get rid of this. All right, we lost that range value area low. The range since November 11th, that value area low here is on my chart, 92,936 on Coinbase. And now, anytime you lose a major volume level of a range like that, oftentimes in a healthy market, you'll come back up to back test that to either confirm the rejection and dump to lower targets, or you will reclaim it. It will be a deviation of the range down here, and then you work your way up to the point of control and then eventually to the value area high if you can break the point of control. So we need to be paying attention to this 93K area. And also there's a CME gap that I think fills around 93.5. So between 93 and 93.5 is a significant resistance for us that if Bitcoin really wants to start getting bullish again, we need to get back above 93K. If we close this weekly candle below 93K, I would say Bitcoin's in some pretty big trouble here, and we might come lower, at least to that 85K level, if not to the 70s, into the 70s. So, I mean, Bitcoin has seen a pretty significant dump here. We are now seeing, like, look at this 15-minute chart here. Bull divs here, low momentum wave, higher low momentum wave, higher low. So all through here, lower low all day, all overnight throughout the morning, lower lows in the price action, higher lows in the momentum waves. That's why we're seeing a little bit of a bounce, because we were building up multiple drives of bull div on the 15-minute. Let's go ahead and go to our hourly chart here. Hourly chart, same thing. You can see 3 humps here, higher lows on the momentum waves, lower lows on the price action. So we were building up bull divs here, seeing a little bit of a bounce from the bull divs. And then as far as our 4-hour time frame goes, we don't have any bull divs, but we are seeing that momentum wave bottom out, really at negative 100. It's a pretty deep momentum wave to the downside. You can also see that our money flow is finally starting to curve and bottom out just a little bit here. So Bitcoin's not out of the woods yet. I do think the daily close just happened 7 minutes ago, and we closed our first real big daily candle underneath 93K. So that's our first warning sign right now. We could not reclaim 93K before the day's end. Now, it is only Tuesday. If we have the rest of the week to get back above 93K, but if we can't get back above 93K before the weekly close, Bitcoin could be in some serious trouble. What I personally would like to see is to come a little bit lower, make some more divs here. If we can do that on the 4-hour time frame, make some divs here, bull divs, take that liquidity here, and then work our way up by Sunday back into the value area of our big daily range, and then see a recovery from there. That is kind of what I'm watching for. With what I'm seeing here on the charts, yes, we are seeing a small bounce here, but look at in the context of things. It's a small bounce here. And there is a possibility that we could continue lower. Once again, guys, if 85 to 83K doesn't hold, we're in real trouble here. We're in real trouble. Okay, let's go back to this chart here, our Bybit chart, and I'm going to go ahead and turn on that bearish pitchfork that I pulled from the all-time high. You can see how well we'd been trading in it. We were holding this pitchfork band through that entire range. We, bounced one last time last Tuesday, I think it was, from the bottom of that pitchfork. We came up to the top of the pitchfork, rejected the top of that pitchfork to the dollar, saw the Bybit hack here, and then we were looking at this as being an ABC correction. Now that has been invalidated because we've dumped past our 1.236. I believe we've even dumped past our 1.618. So now we can be looking at this as a possible impulse to the downside. If we turn on our 1.618, yeah, we've even lost our 1.618. And you can see actually the 1.618 is now acting as a resistance here. So what do we look for in a 5-wave impulse to the downside? You see your wave 1, your wave 2, your wave 3 is always your longest, most explosive, or I would say a majority of the time, your wave 3 is your longest, most explosive wave to the downside, most volume-filled wave to the downside. Then you see a 4, small correction that could last multiple days, and then a 5. So if this is our 5-wave impulse to the downside, is it done yet? It doesn't look like it to me. So what do we need to look for? We need to look for a bounce that could happen before making another low. And if we look at this bounce that we're seeing right now, let's go ahead and zoom in onto the hourly chart. Let me get rid of this guy here real quick. You can see that now that we're losing this pitchfork, it's acting as resistance here. Resistance. We're starting to reject from it here again. And we really haven't, even on the hourly chart, we still haven't even changed market structure, really. You can see this high here is our last significant high on the hourly chart. And we still haven't even been able to break market structure bullishly on the 1-hour chart. So Bitcoin is still showing weakness. Yesterday in the video, I said, wait for a range to form before you start looking for longs to the upside. I mean, if you want to try to be a hero and be a knife catch this, there are certain traders that are really good at that, but they also manage their risk properly. So if you're not experienced with that, I would say wait for a range to form. Right now, we are starting to form a range. Let's go ahead and go onto our 15-minute chart. You can see that this, if we do our fixed range volume profile, we pull it just to this kind of area here. We're starting to form a range down here now. So we can look at this range here, look at our fixed range volume profile, rejecting from the point of control of that range. We couldn't make it to the value area high. So are we going to come down to our value area low? And if the low is in, then we look for confluence at the value area low for a long. Well, guess what? Our golden pocket is right at that value area low. So 87,300, 87,400-ish could be a level where we look to long this to continue it upwards. Also, we do have that daily level at 87,300. Let me see, where is that? And Let's just go ahead and zoom out here on our daily chart, and we will mark out that daily level. There we go. Okay, let's go back to the 1 hour chart. You can see our daily level is there. Now we've already busted through that daily level, and it kind of was the area where we bounced from. The 382 was a little bit better than that daily, but you can see that daily down here at 87,300 is in alignment with our golden pocket. It is in alignment with our value area low, and that's where we could be looking for a long in this general area. So that if we are to see a wave 4 bounce, now this wave 4 bounce, by the way, this wave 4 correction could take multiple days to play out. Usually the correction lasts longer than the impulse to the downside. So we could start to form a range in this general area here for days and then see the dump to the downside. I really want this. Well, I guess I shouldn't say I want. If you want to remain bullish, you want to see Bitcoin reclaim 93K by the end of the week. Right now, we are starting to see that small rejection here from the pitchfork that we lost. It's also our prior highs are up here, 89K lows. Excuse me, the 89K lows that we had. Let's go ahead and turn that on. So let's go to the 4 hour chart and let's look at these 89K lows here. So these were our prior lows of the range, of this entire range since November 11th. These were our prior lows. So we'll turn on our prior lows here, and you can see where are we rejecting really from those prior lows. We're not able to get back above those prior lows. So Bitcoin is still in some sense showing weakness. I'm going to delete some of this stuff now. I showed you guys that. We are in some sense still showing weakness here, rejecting from our prior lows. We can't even flip market structure. So there is a good possibility we could continue down here. We just need to remove emotions from our trading and look at the technicals here. We haven't reclaimed market structure. We are rejecting from the pitchfork after losing it. We come up for the bearish backtest. We're rejecting it now. And you can see, look at even our momentum wave here. Looks like it's starting to curve over. It just, to me, looks like we could continue just a little bit lower here. It would give some more time for some more bull divs to form. Like, if what would be nice to see is if we came down to this 85 to 83K area, made another low, it would give us multiple lows, lower lows here, and then, you know, the price action would do something like this. The momentum wave would do something like that, and then all of a sudden we have way more drives of bull div here, way stronger drives of bull div into a low, into significant support. Now that 382 in some sense could be considered a significant support. That macro 382 from the 49K lows to our all-time high, it is a strong level in a strong trend. And yes, Bitcoin has been in a strong trend on the weekly time frame for a couple years now. And so we can maybe this is the low. I don't know. We just monitor the price action, monitor the signals that our momentum indicators are giving us, and we trade whatever comes. So we'll look for those setups. If you do think the low is in that 89,300 or 87,300 area, you could look for a long at that local golden pocket to bring it up. And even if it's not in, that local golden pocket still might hold, because now what could happen is over the next, I'm just going to get rid of some of this stuff. Let me go ahead and hide this. Even if that low is not in, we could start to form a range in here, maybe hit that golden pocket, work our way up for a few days here, and then see the dump and then grab that. So we could put in a wave 4 that lasts a few days here, in sort of like this ascending channel that we often see in wave 4 ranges or in corrective ranges. We often see channels with decreasing volume. You want to see your volume decreasing. You want to see that channel here, and you'll trade in that channel, get to the top, break down, and you also have volume confirmation. So we'll be watching and monitoring that over the next days here. Of course, I'm always posting updates. I think, today in the Discord, I posted at least 15 or more updates. So I'm really trying to constantly update everyone on what I'm thinking. Now, I'm not always right, so please do not base your trading technically based off my analysis. So that's about it for Bitcoin. Let's actually look at real quick liquidity levels, because you can see this is our Model 2 liquidity heat map, and we have some significant liquidity above us. And where is this liquidity at? Well, look at it's at about 92,600, 92,700 is where it ends, but really the end of this liquidity is right up here, 93,000. Well, where's 93,000? The back test of our value area low. So, what is possible for us to see over the next days is to come up to our 93,000 in a wave 4. Maybe we do something very slowly over the next few days. Come up to 93K, take that liquidity that's above us, and then drop. And that would also confirm the bearish rejection of our range after we're losing our range to the downside. Oftentimes, you'll come back up to bearishly backtest it to confirm a rejection, and that would be bad news for Bitcoin. If we come up to 93K and we reject that, that is bad news for Bitcoin. If we come down to our lows first and bounce from our lows, it would actually be more healthy than to come tackle this 93K. If we bounce from where we're at now, I'm not so sure that 93K won't reject us. So we'll kind of see how this plays out. You know, Bitcoin's just continuing to trade at these lows down here of the range. We're not seeing any real strength here. As far as our Model 3 heat map goes, let's go up to our Model 3 heat map here. And we can look at the liquidity, because there is some significant liquidity. You can see that 93K level right up here is that real big significant liquidity above us. But we do also have some significant liquidity around 97K. And so we can look at 97K as well. 97K is up near our large range point of control. 96.6, 97K up here near our point of control. All right, couple things we can look at here now. We have a couple new naked daily points of control. Let's go ahead and turn that on. So you can see we do have this, I already marked it out here, but at 94,200, 94,233 on Coinbase, we have a naked daily point of control up here. And then we also, well, this one's today's, so we're not going to mark that out. And we have the one that just closed for us below. And also look at where this one that we just closed at below. It's in our golden pocket area. So if we go ahead and snap that on here, 87K. Let's make sure we get that right on there. So 87,100 within our golden pocket area. Let me turn this off now. Let's go back to our 12-minute chart, and we can look at that 87, that naked daily point of control below us that just confirmed 19 minutes ago. You can see that naked daily point of control is in our golden pocket. So we have a lot of support locally at 87.3 to 87K. If Bitcoin is, if this is the low, Bitcoin should bounce here and continue higher. Now, even if it does bounce here and continue higher, we still need to watch for the rejection from 93K and then new lows to be made. But you can see at least locally right now, we have this range here. You can see our value area low. Let me actually get onto the 15-minute chart. We'll look at this a little bit better. Okay, well, looks like our value area low just changed with this dump. Unless I'm looking, let me check it on Bybit to see. Bybit might have different volume levels. Yeah, okay, so Bybit actually has quite a significant difference in the point of control and the value area low than Coinbase. Now, I follow Coinbase levels more, so take that as you wish. But let's see. Bybit, the value area low is right around that 87,300 level. Coinbase, the value area low is around the 786 here, and that is around 86,500, 86,400. But our point of control is down around this golden pocket. So it's still support. Whether you use the value area low from Bybit or the point of control from Coinbase, in confluence with your local golden pocket and your naked daily point of control. This area to me is the area that I would be looking for local support. And you really, in order to take this though, you're going to want to see local bull divs on like the 6 minute or so, or go into your CVD and look for bullish absorption on the charts. Because if you're not seeing bullish absorption, you probably don't want to take that. All right, and then we can look at some bigger moves to the upside. So let's go ahead and go on to the hourly chart, and we can do a Fibonacci pull from the last significant high that we had up here, the top of our wave B, up here, down to our new lows. And look at where our golden pocket is coming in at the bearish backtest of our value area low that we lost. Let me just make this a golden pocket so you guys can see that more clear. Our golden pocket here is in that exact confluence with our value area low of our large range. So this is significant resistance right now. If we do make our way up there, we do need to watch for rejection. We also have these prior internal highs here. So sometimes you'll come up and grab internal prior highs. It was these highs before this last real big waterfall. So I know that looks insignificant in all of this, but it actually does have significance there. And so that's what we're going to be looking for on Bitcoin. Let's go to our CVD real quick. Let's make sure this is updated. All right, and one of the things I was talking about earlier today in Jay's live stream, some of you guys saw that, is we were starting to form some bearish CVD here. And bearish CVD is when you're seeing people retail long the market, but you have whales up here that are absorbing those market longs to dump the price lower because they're trying to fill up their short orders. And what do you look for when you're looking for bearish CVD? You want to see your lower highs in your price action, which we are still seeing lower highs. It's just barely, but we are seeing lower highs here. Higher highs in the CVD, so that means people have been longing. These are market orders. So overall, we've been seeing market longs come in since the lows, since this 89K area broke. We've been overall seeing market longs come in, and you want to see your open interest increasing, letting you know those are fresh positions coming in, because you can't have absorption without fresh money to absorb. So we were seeing that bearish CVD forming here and building throughout the day, and we did not take the highs yet, but we are starting to see our open interest drop now. So we're starting to see some of these people that longed in this area are now starting to get out of their positions. They're saying, okay, I'm done here, I'm getting out. We did see a small short squeeze right here up in this area here. That was a short squeeze that happened, a decrease of OI in this area particularly. You can see we were pumping up here. Our open interest was decreasing. So that wasn't new money longing the market. It was people getting wrecked. Short squeeze, a little short squeeze that we saw. And if you don't know what a short squeeze is, it's just when there's people that have shorted too late, and then maybe they shorted all in this area here, shorting too late. Actually, you can see, yeah, you can actually see that people were shorting here. How do we know? Because our CVD was going down here, so it tells us those were market shorts. It's causing the market to go down a bit, and we know those were new shorts because our open interest was increasing during that time here. So we had new shorts coming in at the bottom in this area. Well, guess what happened? That same area, they got squeezed out of their positions. Squeezed out. And a forced buyback of a short is a market buy. So that's why our CVD here is going up here, because they were forced to buy back their short positions. We're seeing the pump price short squeeze because of it. And how do we know it's a short squeeze? Because those people that built up that open interest in here just got flushed out of that open interest down here. So we saw those people get this small short squeeze. Here's the thing though, guys, with the short squeeze. A short squeeze absolutely can have give you explosive price action to the upside. But once you get to the upside up here, if you don't have new money stepping into the market to support the price, oftentimes the price will just go right back down, because it's not new positions that are pushing the price up. So we're starting to see maybe some of that right now. We're just starting to form a bigger range here, which is what we want to see. You really, if you want to be a safe trader, you wait for a range to form. You start to play that range. So anytime you come down to the value area low of the range and a local golden pocket, you can look for longs in that range, and you would set your stops at the lows of that range just in case you're wrong and it's going to keep waterfalling. Then you're protected. So we're just looking at that right now. yesterday in the video, I did caution to wait for those ranges to form to really start getting into long positions. And so now we're finally starting to see some ranges form so we can look for long positions. What I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be playing, I'm probably going to look for a long at this area here at 87K, 87.3 to 87K, but I'm going to play it as a scalp at first. Now, if Bitcoin runs, I'll let it run. I do plan to take profits. If we come down here and hit into here, my TP1 would be the 89K highs that up here. These highs, the break of market structure, because oftentimes you'll see a fake break of market structure where you maybe come down here, come up here, wick just a little bit past it to take that liquidity of the top of the range, and then you just start coming back down. So if I do long this area, this will be a TP1 for me. I'll set my stop loss to break even. So if it does come back down, I'm protected. But what else will if we break this to the upside, say we break that high to the upside, maybe flip it into support here, what could we be looking for? Our TP2 for me, a big TP2 for me on this would be 93K area, where we have our bearish backtest of the value area low and our golden pocket. So if we get up there, that would be my TP2. I would probably be 60 to 75% out of my trade by then, of this local trade from here. And then what we do, if it does reclaim that value area low and it looks like the low is in, say we do something like, do this, reclaim that value area low, then you could long the back test of the value area low. You could add to your position because you'll already have 75% of it taken out up here just to be safe because you're playing this as a scalp at first. But then when you break above it, let's say we do something like this, break above, come up to this area to our naked daily point of control, reject this area here, then come back down, and it looks like we're going to hold our value area low in here. Then you can compound your trade. You can add here. Your initial position price will be here. You've already taken 75% of those profits. Then when it bullishly backtests that value area low, you can compound that trade, add more here, which is probably going to bring your price, your average price around this area here, but you'll still be able to compound that trade just in case Bitcoin wants to shoot up to the point of control at 97K. Then you'll be able to, take more profit out there and get better profit out of that scalp that might turn into a day trade or a swing trade long. So that's kind of my plan right now on Bitcoin. Just going to be looking at that. As far as our SMA VWAP bands here, you can see that they did expand pretty hard. I talked about this yesterday. Anytime you see them squeeze together, they expand and there's usually an explosive move. But as they expand, every 15 minutes, they change. They expand more if we're seeing volatility, or they squeeze more if we're really starting to range tightly. But you can see how well the bottom of these bands work. When they'll expand every 15 minutes, and then they often act as support, and then you can often get a push up to the middle band. If we're bearish, it'll reject from that middle band, come back down to the bottom band. If we're bullish and it's a low, it'll usually bust through this, flip it to support, and continue to the upper band, which guess where it's at? 97K, the point of control. Lower band is right about 90K, 91K. So that's kind of what I'm looking for here on Bitcoin. We'll just keep an eye on it as this develops, but we are starting to form this range here. I do think one more low is possible, but we don't know when that will happen, and we don't know how low it will go or how high we'll go before the low comes in, if another low comes in. So we'll monitor price action, we'll monitor our confirmations for trades, and just look at the levels and trade your levels. Have proper risk management. Just in case it busts straight through this, you'll get stopped out at these lows. Okay, that's it for Bitcoin. Now, I have a couple coins that were requested today, and I'm going to go into those. So Super was one of them. Super USD. All right, Super. Let's go ahead and zoom out to the daily chart here. And Super has been trading in this bigger pink descending channel here. Let me actually clean some of this stuff up. All right, we'll do that for now. And we broke that pitchfork to the downside. This pitchfork that we've been trading in, you can see we broke it to the downside on the daily time frame, came up bearishly back tested and confirmed the rejection, and that's when we saw this waterfall here after the break and bearish back test of the pitchfork. So now this pitchfork here, we can just, I'll hide it. We'll get rid of it off the chart. And we can look at this descending channel here that we've been trading in on the daily. Highly respected descending channel on the daily. And I do like how the bottom of the channel is where our value area low and our weekly's at. Now, our first level of support below us is the SFP of those flash crash lows. Now we have a double low there, almost like this low here, just front ran that. So we have two SFP levels. If we can come down here in SFP and continue like SFP in both, that might bounce us and that might be the low. But I do think now that we front ran this one so closely, there is a higher probability that the SFP doesn't work now, and we might just do this. So we need to keep that in mind now that we front ran that so closely. So where's this level at 48.868, 48.9 cents down to about 44 cents, 44.4 cents. And what range am I talking about, first of all, on this? It is our big daily range here. You can see on Super, really since December of 2023, we've kind of been trading in this upper price action after seeing this real big impulse to the upside here. We've been trading in this price action here. So I'm going to be looking for the value area low of this range to be significant support here. And the value area low is coming in around the bottom of the channel and that weekly level. There. All right, so that's kind of what the major support that I'm looking at on Super. Now to the upside, you can see our point of control, which was now what in here, support, support, support. Now we're losing it. If we come up to back test it, it could act as a resistance. Also, what we can do is we can do a Fibonacci pull from our last big high here down to these lows. Okay, so golden pockets up more near the midline. Actually, it's even quite a bit farther than midline. But let's look at our 382 because the 382 often acts as strong support and a strong trend. Yeah, 382 is right there. So 382, right at our point of control. I mean, this has been a pretty strong downtrend here on Super. If we go out here, I mean, that's been a pretty strong downtrend, especially this last, what is this, since the 22nd? So for a few days here. So if Super is going to continue bearishly, then we probably expect something like this to come, reject from this. Bitcoin did the same thing, by the way, last night, guys. In my third video update last night, Bitcoin was rejecting from the local 382 of that impulse down. And I did my thumbnail. Go check out the thumbnail. It was, I made the video. I said, not good, rejecting from 382, not good. And what am I talking about? Let's actually look at that. Let me just get rid of that real quick. Let's see. Let's go on this chart just to make it cleaner. So we were looking at the 382 from our B wave highs, and we were last night, it was around that. Where was it here? I think it was this area. Or what? Just go check out my video from yesterday. We rejected from that 382, and we were rejecting right as I was making the video, and I said, hey guys, if we reject from this 382, it tells us bearish continuation is going to happen. And we did reject, and we did come down and make new lows. So I'm not sure where we were ending yesterday. I'm having a brain fart on that. What price we were at. I think we were at like above 89 still. Was it this one? Yeah. Okay. So anyways, we rejected from 382. So if we go back to Super here, Super could see that rejection from 382. We can also do if we zoom out a bit more here, let's go on to the 4-hour chart. And we can look at this range here, this smaller range. So let me get rid of some of this stuff. I'm just going to get rid of this SFP for now. Just know that it's there around 53.4. I'll say 53.388. And we can look at our smaller range, which is from the dump here, right after the dump to our current levels. And our value area low is right around there too. So anytime you lose a range, like we've been trading in this range for 22 days, you lose that range, you can come up and bearishly backtest the value area low to confirm the rejection or not. So this area, in this general area here, is significant, our first significant resistance. Okay, and then if we look at a value area high, we do have a box up there, but let's go ahead and do a Fibonacci pull from the highs of that range to our new lows here, and we'll turn on our golden pocket. Okay, golden pocket is going to come in. Let's see, was that where the point of control was? No, not quite. Yeah, I don't like this golden pocket too much because that liquidity here is resting right above it. I mean, it is at our prior highs here before this last dump. So there is a possibility we could come up to this golden pocket, just take these highs, these internal highs, and then come back down. But it's not the nicest confluence that we're seeing here. Actually, let's check our naked daily points of control real quick. See if there's a naked daily there. Nope. But you can see this naked daily point of control here is in that same area where there's the large range point of control since December of 2023 and our value area low of our small 23-day range. So we're starting to build up a lot of confluence here for this rejecting us. Naked daily point of control. Okay, let's turn that off now for a second. And let's pull our smaller range again. Yeah, look at value area low, naked daily point of control, regular large range point of control that goes all the way back to December of 2023, plus our 382 pull of the last big dump. So there's a lot there in this area. This area would be our local resistance area. Right here. All right, that's that. And that area is from 63 cents to like 64 cents. Now, I do like this value area high here. You can see this value area high is coming in right around the highs of this last big push down, these highs here. The value area high is coming in around there, and it's going to be around the top of our channel because it will take some time to come back up there. Not that. If we do something like this, maybe reject the first time, flip it, come up here, hit this, you know. So I do think that area could be a real nice area as well. Let me check if I put anything here. Yeah, value area high 786. So now that 786 obviously has changed because we've dropped lower, but it's our value area high up there. Top of the channel, value area high, liquidity grab, all up here. So that's the area I'd be looking next. And then if we break that, we do have the range highs up in this area where our naked weekly point of control is up here. And this is the next area. Yeah, naked weekly point of control up there. Range highs. We have actually this high, this high, this high, and this high, all semi-equal. So there's a lot of liquidity. So a liquidity grab into the top of the channel. If it's it would have to explode up very quick though. I don't think that's going to happen. So, but it is the liquidity grab into our naked weekly point of control. Yeah. We can also take the golden pocket of this significant dump here. So we'll do that golden pocket pull from here to here. Yeah, and the golden pocket's there. A lot of confluence there. Naked weekly, golden pocket, swing failure pattern. That area is between 82.6 and 86.6, I'll say. All right, that's about it for super, guys. I mean, I would be watching this weekly value area low down here. And if we break that, gosh, it's going to be in trouble. Let's see here. If we break that to the downside, I mean, there's this liquidity grab down here at the lows of this major range, this major 2-year range, or let's see, December 2023, November 20, December 2024. So it's over a year long, like 16 months long. So this is the next level you'd be looking for, is this liquidity grab right here at 36,687. If we break that, we'll have to look for lower targets, but I'll update on that in a later time. Hopefully we don't. Let's just say that. All right, next one is SAY USD. I think I did. Let's check Bybit. I think I did it on Bybit. Yeah. All right. So similar to a lot of these coins, we're trading in this big descending channel. And I'll mention this on Bitcoin too, because Bitcoin's actually trading in a nice descending channel. Let me show you that real quick here. So if I go up to Bitcoin, let's go to this one. Here we go. This channel here. Bitcoin is trading in this nice descending channel on the daily. And I just grabbed the all-time high down to the next lower high, and then I bring it all the way down to our flash crash here. And so you can see we've been trading nicely in this channel. If we go onto our 4-hour chart, you can see our midline has been really respected all through here. Midline respected. So we do have this channel here, and let me hide this one. That's a very micro trend that we're looking at. But the bottom of the channel here is around that 85K level. We'd maybe wick a little bit past it, reclaim this channel and continue in it. That's something that Solana is doing right now. So I'll show you guys that in my next video. I have to leave very soon here, and then I'll make another video covering some more alts, and I'll show you what's going on with Solana right now, because it's actually really interesting. Solana hit a major support level, bounced to the dollar, really good. Anyways, Bitcoin's in this channel. We're not quite to the bottom yet. Let me go back to SAY. All right, SAY here. So we are in this bigger daily descending channel. You can see it in blue here. We've been in it for quite a while, just doing this huge correction. And we can look here. Now, we had significant support in this box here. We did wick past that on the flash crash we saw 3 weeks ago. And ever since then, we kind of just been holding in this general area. But I think I had another chart too. This is the one no. Okay, this is the one I was showing today. All right, because the gentleman who asked me about this today, this was the chart I was looking at today. So same descending channel. You see it in pink here. Same descending channel. And we are trading in this range here. So we look at this range. We did bounce from the value area low. You can see the value area low has been holding us, but SAY has been pumping the last few days, last week, when all the rest of the altcoins are dumping. So SAY is looking relatively strong compared to a lot of the other altcoins. Now, it did dump pretty hard on that flash crash 23 days ago. But we're at our macro value area low of a range that goes back quite a while. Let's see, to December of 2023 once again. So I would really say that, this area in like 21 cents, 21 and a half cents, 22 cents is a really good area to be looking for, say, to hold to continue higher. But if we just go onto the daily chart here and we look at our last daily high down to our daily low and you pull that golden pocket, you can see the golden pocket here is where we're finding resistance right now. And if we reject from this golden pocket, we can probably expect a move down to our value area low again. Let's look at, you can see we're rejecting from that golden pocket. So let me delete that. We go to do this range pull here, and you can see our value area low 786 area is around our value area low. So I would say this general area here, if you think, say, is going to remain bullish, 22 cents, 22.5 cents to 22.8, I'll say, this general area, you want to see this hold. You want to see something like this, come down here, hold it, and then start to work your way up. Now, if we can break the golden pocket that we're at now and see a move up past this golden pocket, we do need to be aware that we do have the channel midline is just above us. So what we could also do here, and this happens quite a bit, is you can chop around this for a bit, maybe see a push up one last time into the midline, and then you could dump. You can start to form a mini few day range in this area, but ultimately not break it to the upside and dump. So that's another thing I'd be watching for. This midline right now, it's coming in around 30 cents, but it's obviously getting lower as every day passes because it's dynamic. It's a descending line, descending resistance line. And then let's look, if we do come higher, point of control up here. We have our prior daily highs before this giant waterfall. So remember, anytime you see a giant aggressive waterfall to the downside like that, the highs right prior to that are important highs that liquidity is resting there. So we have important liquidity resting at these highs into our point of control. You absolutely have to be aware that that 34.73 to like 35.50, 0.3550, not 35.50. That area is a resistance area that we need to be watching locally. In here. And then, of course, if we break that, our value area high is at the top of that channel around 62 cents. 62 cents here. We can also do a Fibonacci pull from the highs. The last time we rejected from the highs of the channel down to our flash crash lows. And you can see that 786 is right at that value area high there. So that's 62 cent area is the next area I'd be watching. Up in here. Golden pocket is kind of important. Let's look at first our naked weekly points of control. Okay, nothing, but you can see here, right at that midline, we do have a fresh naked weekly point of control there as well. Now, this one's our current week, so you're not going to pay attention to that one yet because our week's just started. But up here at like 30 cents, that 30.6, 36.9, 37, 30.7, or you know what I mean. This here is around our midline, and that could reject us as well. And 786 is up there. So if we break this local golden pocket like now or in the next day or two, we can still look up to this area. Another naked weekly point of control. Okay, that's it as far as naked weekly point of controls in this whole push down. The next one that we see is up here, and we'd be breaking out of the channel by then. That's all the way up at like 87 cents. But let's go ahead and look at our naked daily points of control. All right. Yeah, also a naked daily point of control in this box that we marked out. So it's a point of control, naked daily point of control up here. This box is going to be big resistance here. Our SFP of those prior highs into this box. We do have a naked daily point of control up in this box as well. So more confluence for both of our boxes that we marked out. But I do kind of like this area here now because we have naked daily points of control on either side of our golden pocket. So this area, actually, I wouldn't include the top one because if we break our golden pocket, we're probably going to come up to that 786. So I'd say this area here, we could also say could be a resistance area, a more confluence of resistance. I need to check something real quick here. I bet you that. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Yeah, our 0.5 is also at this naked daily point of control. So unfortunately, there is a lot of confluences of resistance for say to really overcome right now because we could put, I mean, a naked daily point of control is a really good level to watch. It's a volume based level, and we know volume and liquidity runs this markets. But what also, if this is, say this is an ABC correction and this thing keeps going lower, the 0.5 is a very good target to look for an ABC correction. So say this whole push down on the daily was our wave A here. We bounce up to our 0.5 for our wave B, and then we come down, you know, wave C down here, 12 cents, something like that. Like that's absolutely possible to have a multi-month ABC correction. I mean, this does look impulsive here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. I mean, yeah, that could work out. That's an impulse there. We're starting to see this correction to the downside. I would just be aware of that level as well. I know this chart looks horrendous right now, so let me turn this off and let me delete this. So these are the levels I'd be watching to the upside. You know, this box up here is between 35 and 36 cents. The next resistance is between 45.4 and 46.4. Next resistance after that, 51.8, 54.5, 61.17, 63.36. And then, of course, we got this guy up here. I don't remember. I mean, our weekly, yeah, it's our SFP into our weekly up here. Let's do this. Weekly and the SFP also up there. But that's first and foremost, we have the midline area here in the golden pocket where we're at right now. So, and then of course, if we break our value area low, if we break this value area low, I would be looking towards the bottom of the channel around 14 cents. All right, that's it for say. You guys, I'm going to go ahead. I have to get going here. I will make another video later today covering my normal altcoins. We'll do another update on Bitcoin. We'll just kind of take a look at the markets again and see how things are going. If you got anything out of this video, please like the video and subscribe. Also, I do have that campaign running on MEXC where there's a link in the description. You deposit up to $500, you can get $10 in free trading bonus. You get a discount on fees. And then also, depending on how much you deposit, you can get up to deposit and trade. You can get up to $20,000 in bonuses. So thank you guys for watching, for support and all that good stuff. I really do appreciate y'all. Have a good day.